Okay, new video time. In this one, we're diving headfirst into this car. I have a list of stuff I need to get done so it can make it to Chrome in a few weeks. We're also going to take a dive and have a look at a little bit of the history of this car. Well, since it made it into New Zealand anyway, 10 years ago, I think. Anyway, let's get to it. There was an article written up about this car back in 2015 when it came into the country, and it came from Japan. It was a Time Attack built car for, I'm not even going to try and say the name of the track because I'll stuff it up. But yeah, it was built for a Time Attack car on this track in Japan. Here's the article here. I'll try and have a link in the description so you can go see it yourself. But yeah, pretty much the car came in with all decals all over it. It was all already set up for Time Attack. And since then, I'm not 100% sure of the history here. It did come from Hamilton, so I'm pretty sure it's been sitting for quite a few years. Obviously, the decals are gone. Big fan of telling them to put those back on because I quite like it. But yeah, if you have a quick look at that article, you'll pretty much grab the gist of it. There are videos of it somewhere, but I can't find them. So go check out that link. So on my list here, I've got, there's quite a few things. Some jobs are small, some are quite decent size. Like, we need to rebuild this overflow bottle here. This is, not a fan. But we'll just tuck that back in there for now. So we'll make a new aluminium one later on. Electric fans, I think one of them doesn't work, but we have new fan motors and a new set of fans down there. But what I need to pretty much do first is I need to get this seat out because I need to get to the battery behind it. We're going to replace that battery with the optimal one. And when I reinstate the seat, I don't know how well we can see it, they're different. So I just need to muck around with the brackets down here and get them both sitting fine. So I suppose the first problem is, how do I get this out? Yeah, there's not much room, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so this is what we're looking at here. Battery's out. It's got the little terminal, so I'm going to need to get some bigger ones. That Optima battery, they don't have little terminals like that. The old battery tray, it looks like it's just been, do I dare say, tech screwed in? Hopefully. Anyway, so I was just having a look at this here. She's a bit wet down here, so I don't know if water's come up through these holes somewhere. And then, someone's gone through and welded this bar in the bottom here. I'm not going to comment on those. But yeah, here's the new battery bracket I need to bolt down. Something like that. So what we've got here, is a battery bracket for this battery here. It's pretty straightforward. Top bracket like that. You've got these little risers that sit in there like so. And, it's all countersunk underneath too. Okay, so I'm going to try and mount this in there. I'll get rid of that battery tray, throw this one in there. I'll get some terminals for it later on, and then we can square that away and tick that off my list. So I've got a few issues with this battery setup. First being that this bracket here isn't, it's a universal bracket. It's not a bracket especially for this battery, so I've had to put these bits on here to hold it in this tray on the bottom. And then as you can tell, I've got to cut that down. What is that, 20 mil? I'm just hoping that these threads run all the way down through here. I don't want to cut that, then run out of thread for these bolts. So I'll sort that. Second problem is this plate here is just a touch too big to sit down in the rear seat pan. So what I need to do is probably cut another piece of steel, make it bigger. That's going to fit nice and flush in the back there, but risen off the bottom by about that much. So I'm just going to do a template now, and then we'll size it in the car, and then I'll get this cut and we'll weld that in there higher off the bottom, and that will sit level and everyone will be happy, I hope. Okay, so it's been a couple of days. I'm just doing these fans now. So the upgrade for these. So these are the factory FD fans. We've got a 5-blade and a 4-blade. So the RX8 ones, I believe they have a 5-blade and a 7-blade, which just pumps through so much more air. So we've got RX8 fan blades coming from Mazda, but what we need to do is actually take the FD motor out and replace it with an RX8 one. So difference of these is the shaft here and the fan attaching to it and plug there. So these are a Series 1 RX8 electric fan motor with a 4-pin plug. So I will need to change the plug on the FD wiring loom, but that's not a major. So fan blades are off, which was a nightmare by the way. And then just a case of unscrewing these. Is that clipped in there? Oh, yep. So that's the FD electric fan motor, and we do have brand new RX8 ones. So it's unfortunate we don't have the blades, but that should only take about a week to get those, and then I'll swap this whole shroud into the car. So that should run it heaps cooler, I'm hoping. So new motor, of course I've opened it backwards. Right there, so all it is just that shaft there. It won't, these, same, these FD fans, it just doesn't go. So that's the upgrade for this. So I'll finish this and then I have my bracket made for the battery. So I'll figure this out and weld it in the car tonight and then go from there. Okay, so I got the bracket here. So all I have to do now is just match drill a couple holes. That looks pretty good. I'll just mark them up, then I'll drill it. I'll throw some bolts in, and then I need to set up to weld this into the rear seat well. That's what I want to call it. Weld this into there. I need to get the old battery bracket out from underneath it. But yeah, it should be pretty straightforward. I still need to cut these down. I think it was 20 mil. I can't remember, but I'll double check it, cut those down, get all this mounted, weld it in the car, batteries done to that point, except for the terminals, which I'll get tomorrow. I'm pretty sure I said earlier that I need to cut these down 20 mil, and I hope that thread goes all the way down. Nope. So now I'm gonna have to mark this, drill it, and run a blind tap in there and tap it out to 8 mil. So then it can do all it needs to do with this bracket, and it will clamp down properly onto the battery that's sitting over there. Yay. Okay, so bracket's drilled, tapped, and it's bolted to the steel bracket. Raining again. So what I'm going to do now is I've just got it sitting there. I just need to clean up the weld areas, and we need to weld it in. So that's pretty much how it's going to be. It's sitting in there quite nicely at the moment. So just clean a few areas here and at the back there, weld it in. I do still have the other battery bracket in the bottom end of this, but it's not clashing with this new one. And my theory is if I leave it in there, the holes that have been drilled in there will still be closed up, so water won't be coming up in there. So I'll weld that in now, throw that battery in, and that's where I'm going to leave it for tonight. Battery is all mounted in now. It's nice and secure. This bracket here has worked out well now. Clamps down nicely on the battery. That's nice and secure. She ain't going anywhere. And it's also somewhat level. So that's done. Tomorrow I'll get new terminals for that and we'll hook it back up, make sure the car still has power, and we'll start her up. And those are on hold, but yes, as I said before, RX8 motors in that fan shroud now, and we'll get this back in tomorrow. Fun. Saturday afternoon now, and what I need to do is get these onto that battery, square all that away, get that seat back into the car, and then fire it up, make sure everything's all good, and then I need to figure out a way to jack this car up. I'm not 100% sure. This body kit down here is, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Figure it out though. Complete pain in the ass. I kid you not, it probably took me an hour and a half to get that passenger seat in. Wasn't a case of getting it into the car, it was a case of getting that bolt in the back corner. So it's done. What a pain in the ass. So the seats are sitting a lot better in line, so we'll tick that off the box. So battery's done, seats being altered. Now I need to do some work under the car. So I've just got these blocks here. I'm just going to drive it forward up onto the blocks and try and get a jack underneath it, lift it up, and we'll have a look underneath and go from there. So I just got it driven up onto these blocks at the moment. I think I might be good. I just need to get up to the sway bar, which is just in there, but I'm not going to do that today. I do need to figure out all this ducting too. See where that all runs to. I'm pretty sure those are for the calipers. Pretty sure. Anyway, so I've got a little bit of work to do on that, and coming up, as I said before, need to sort that out, and there is a whole bunch of oil catch cans under these covers over here that I don't know what we're going to do with that. Might just do the old covered, sorted. Also, I don't know if I've spoken about before, the heat shielding here and here, we just need to tidy that up. But besides that, I think we're all right. We'll keep plugging away at this anyway over the next week, and I think we're good to go. By the way, look at that. Look at all that aluminium underneath this thing. It's half a sheet of alley sitting right there. Anyway, moving on. So I'm ending this video here. Achieved a few things on this week. Got the seat sorted and got the battery 100% squared away, so that's good. Moving forward with this thing, there's a whole lot of little bits and pieces I need to do, but it's not worthwhile filming that, so probably won't jump back onto this until I've got some fabrication that I need to do in there. So also coming up, I do have, for this engine here and there, I do have the rotating assembly coming back. It's all been balanced, so we can look at stacking that and hopefully getting that ready for the T-Poi cruise, which I believe is 3 weeks away. But if you made it this far in this video, I'll try and get the link, as I said, to the article for this in the description. But if it's not there, it'll be on Facebook page somewhere. I don't know. And also I might even suss out that a link to the kit you can buy for an FD that upgrades your fans for more velocity. It's all written there. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.